In a matter of minutes, a single name shook the digital world, breaking records and leaving an indelible mark. That night wasn't just a gala event. It was a moment when a star cemented herself as a living legend, and everyone was watching. The spotlight focused on a single figure, striding calmly yet confidently. Zhao Lusi appeared not just as an actress, but as a symbol of a new force in the global entertainment industry. Her dress shimmered elegantly, reflecting the light like a story she had been building for years. Each step seemed to have its own narrative, one of hard work, perseverance, and an undying dream. As she stood on the XHS Red Gala stage, the atmosphere changed. The audience fell silent, then slowly became absorbed. Not because of the magnificent stage effects, but because of the aura she exuded. Zhao Lusi didn't just perform. She commanded the stage so naturally, as if the world had been waiting for her to arrive at that moment. But that night was only the culmination of a long, challenging journey. Behind her sweet smile, there lay an unseen struggle. She had been doubted, compared, and even belittled. But every criticism became the fuel that pushed her to go further. Her massive success didn't come overnight. Love's Ambition was one of the most monumental turning points in her career. With its touching story and vivid characters, the drama slowly built an unstoppable wave. When viewership began to climb, no one could have imagined it would reach 5 billion views. It wasn't just a number, it was proof that sincere stories still have the power to unite people from all over the world. Zhao Lusi's performance in the drama was a major highlight. She didn't just play a character, she brought it to life. Every expression, every tear, felt so real that the audience felt every emotion she portrayed. The chemistry she developed with her co-star, William Chan, was an element that couldn't be ignored. Their interactions felt so natural, as if they weren't just acting, but a reflection of a truly lived relationship. The audience didn't just watch, they engaged. They laughed, cried, and fell in love with Zhao Lusi's character. This is the true power of an actress, the ability to make others feel. On the Xiaohongshu platform, Zhao Lusi's popularity reached its peak. Clips of her performances went viral, shared millions of times, and were discussed by everyone. From loyal fans to new viewers, everyone was captivated by her charm. This phenomenon wasn't confined to one country. Zhao Lusi successfully transcended cultural and linguistic boundaries, reaching a global audience in a way that rarely happens. She became the face of a new generation of Asian entertainment that went global. What made her special wasn't just her talent, but also her authenticity. In an industry often filled with pretense, Zhao Lusi remained true to herself. She didn't try to be perfect, she was simply herself. And that's precisely where her strength lay. Audiences could feel her honesty in every role, in every interview, and even in every smile. The night at the XHS Red Gala symbolized all she had achieved. It wasn't just the awards or media attention, but the recognition that she had achieved something extraordinary. Yet, despite all this, Zhao Lusi remained humble. She didn't rest on her laurels. For her, every success was the beginning of another journey. The entertainment industry is constantly changing, and new challenges will always arise. But with the foundation she has built, Zhao Lusi has something more than just popularity. She has influence. Influence that can inspire millions to believe in their dreams. Influence that proves that hard work and sincerity are never in vain. When the world sees her standing on stage, they don't just see an actress. They see a symbol of hope, a symbol of change, and a symbol that limits only exist if we believe in them. And perhaps that's why her story feels so relatable. Because beneath all the glitz, Zhao Lusi is still someone who once had a dream, just like all of us. Now, with 5 billion views and global recognition under her belt, one thing is clear. This isn't the end of her story. It's just the beginning of a much bigger chapter. And the world, it's still waiting to see what she does next. Amidst the increasing spotlight, the pressure also increased. Zhao Lusi's every move no longer represented just herself, but also the expectations of her growing fan base. But instead of getting caught up in the pressure, she turned it into energy to continue growing. She began choosing roles more boldly, challenging herself to step outside her comfort zone. She no longer just played sweet romantic roles, but also took on roles that were more complex, darker, and demanded more emotional depth. This decision wasn't without risk, but it was precisely where she discovered a new dimension in her career. Every project she took on felt like a statement that she wasn't just a fleeting star, but an artist eager to leave a lasting mark. And slowly, the public began to see this transformation. They no longer saw only her popularity, but also the qualities she brought to the table. Behind the scenes, Zhao Lusi was known for her intense discipline. She prepared every scene with meticulous detail, delving into her character's deepest layers. For her, acting wasn't just a job, but a total dedication to the story she was telling. Her colleagues often expressed admiration for her work ethic. She arrives early, practices long hours, and doesn't hesitate to retake scenes until she achieves the best possible results. This attitude has earned her not only respect but also love in the industry. Meanwhile, her fans continue to show incredible support. From fan art projects to social media trends to global campaigns, Zhao Lusi's name continues to resonate. She's not just an actress, she's become a cultural phenomenon. Interestingly, despite her soaring popularity, she maintains a connection with her fans. Through simple interactions, text messages, or spontaneous moments, she demonstrates that she hasn't forgotten the people who have supported her from the beginning. Meanwhile, the global entertainment industry is beginning to open its eyes wider to the immense potential of Asian talent. Zhao Lusi is one of the faces representing this change, a bridge between Eastern and Western cultures. And ultimately, Zhao Lusi's story isn't just about numbers, awards, or virality. It's the story of someone who dared to dream big, worked tirelessly, and proved that with perseverance, even seemingly impossible dreams can become reality. As time goes by, Zhao Lusi's steps become more firmly established, stepping onto a broader stage. Offers poured in, not only from the local industry but also from international productions that were beginning to notice her charm. She was now at a point where every decision she made could determine a new direction for her career. Yet, amidst these enormous opportunities, she remained cautious. She didn't want to simply chase global fame, but rather chose projects with strong meaning and storytelling. For her, true success wasn't measured solely by the breadth of her reach, but by the depth of her impact. Something had shifted in the way she viewed the world. Where once she'd been running to prove herself, she now walked with the confidence that she'd found her niche. This change made each of her performances feel more mature, calmer, yet even more captivating. Critics who once doubted her were now beginning to recognize her. They saw a tangible evolution, from a promising young actress to a true master of acting. This transformation didn't happen overnight, but rather through a long, dedicated process. Behind that success, there were quiet moments rarely seen, when she had to face exhaustion, doubt, and the never-ending demands. But it was in those moments that she discovered her true strength, the ability to keep getting up, even when things felt tough. Her life story began to inspire many, not just as entertainment, but as a lesson in perseverance. Many saw her as proof that success doesn't come from luck alone, but from consistent hard work. On social media, each of her posts now had a greater impact. It wasn't just about her style or appearance, but also the message she conveyed. She began using her platform to spread positivity, building more meaningful connections with her audience. Meanwhile, the world kept moving, trends came and went, but Zhao Lusi's name endured. She was no longer simply going with the flow. She began to become part of it, even steering it in new directions. And when people look back on this journey one day, they might realize one simple thing, that it all started with the courage to dream and the determination to never give up, no matter what.